Hi everyone, I'm Kurt. So between going to Vegas and shooting a bunch of stuff there, coming home and writing some previews on top of working my normal job and writing for them, I've decided to take things a little bit easy this week. So this week I'm gonna do my August highlights. So first up, I went to Vegas. I never had any intentions of going to Vegas. I always kind of saw it as Frankenstein's monster of the world's cultures, or at least that's what it looked like from a distance. I think the only thing that would have dragged me there was something like work, in this case, the GameStop Expo. Vegas was disgusting, but also fascinating. It was scary, yet enticing, and in a bizarre, weird way, I kind of fell in love with it, but I equally want nothing to do with it. I guess it's sort of like a bad relationship in that sense. It's so bizarre. It's like the world's cultures are smashed into one city, and by doing so, it almost becomes a culture of its own. Also, there is Fremont Street. I don't know if you guys know about Fremont Street, but it's essentially this indoor street that has an LED roof, and there's people on bungee cords. They're flying back and forth, and on one end there was a hula hooping DJ, but in between that stretch there were women in nothing but thongs and nipple tassels, and across from them were men in nothing but thongs and bow ties, but in between them were limbless homeless people that were shaking for change, and Elvis impersonators and casinos. It was weird. Anyways, moving forward. So then that brings me to the next highlight, the GameStop Expo. So this is the first expo I was able to attend as press, and it was awesome. It was super fun. One game that I didn't get to talk about in my video, if you haven't watched that yet, you should watch my highlight video, which is going to be below, and probably at the end as well. But one game I didn't get to talk about that I really loved was Cuphead. So Cuphead is, if you don't know, is a 2D side-scroller shoot 'em up kind of running gun that has the art style of old timesy cartoons, and boy is it fucking hard. During my short demo I got annihilated. I probably died maybe 6 or 7 times, and that was when I finally was like, I'm done. However, the deaths I would say were fair. Every single time I replayed the level I got a little bit further and a little bit better at what I was doing. So the animation is just bonkers. I definitely think 99% of the appeal of this game is solely its look, and rightfully so. It looks amazing, and it does not look like an easy task making or animating those things, especially today, because even then they were so impressive. And my last highlight, of course, is the Twin Peaks finale. I'm not gonna have any spoilers, but dude, every single fucking time. Are you done? Sweet. Okay, I'm not gonna have any spoilers. However, if you don't want even the slightest idea of how it shapes out or may possibly end, I strongly suggest that you stop watching the video now. Cool. So for those of you who are still with me, here we have it. Twin Peaks has ended. So I'm gonna put all my cards on the table. I never wanted the show to come back. I was always so in love with how the show ended in the first place in season 2 that it was so ambiguous and left with so many cliffhangers. This fucking cat, can you please leave me alone? I love you. That was it. Anyways, so one of the reasons why I adored the ending of season 2, even though it wasn't necessarily intended to end that way because the show was canceled, I always thought that that was the most appropriate way for the show to end. Completely, absolutely ambiguous, with unanswered questions and mysteries for us to kind of fantasize about and create on our own as an audience. And I think that is one of the million reasons that Twin Peaks is such a enigma of cinema and television, because unlike so many other shows and movies, it just inspires its audience. It involves their audience because it gives so little, and it entices us to want to be involved. Anyways, this season in particular so heavily constantly refers to the ideas of dreams and dreamers within dreams and being a part of the dreamer's dream, that when it ends, to me, it was like the perfect encapsulation of waking up from a dream. If you think about it, no dream we ever have has a true end, because you eventually wake up. And to me, this ending was the closest I've ever felt to waking up from a dream when I barely even had a grasp of what was going on. And I find that remarkable. I don't really have much else to say because I'm not one to speculate and come up with theories, although I do love hearing and reading other people's theories as to what's going on in the show, but I really kind of enjoy the idea of it just being this open thing that exists. So with that said, that's my highlights of August, even though the Twin Peaks finale was the first week in September. Nonetheless, it was a part of my August. Deal with it. So that's it. Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, I love you. Any of you are interested in any of the previews that I wrote up from the GameStop Expo, I went in a little bit more detail on games like Super Mario Odyssey, Skyrim from the Switch, as well as the game Moss. Head over to my blog, vgcnc.com. Also, to keep updated on everything else I do, so on top of the blogs and stuff that I write, but also the work I do for a city newspaper, the publication I currently work for, go and follow me on Twitter and Instagram. It's both Kurt_Indovina. Do that if your heart does so desire. Skibbity bop, shoo wop wop. Okay. Goodbye.